Okay, we're recording. So, um, Diesel Core Training Hotline, and tonight's topic is Canva 101. Now, Canva is the program that I personally use when it comes to all of my recognition posts, when it comes to social media posts, when it comes to just anything that I want to get creative with. One of the first places I go to do that is Canva. I personally work Canva from my desktop. I do not use the app. There is an app that exists, but it's not super user-friendly, to be honest with you. It doesn't translate as well from the desktop to the app, and every time I've tried to edit, it just doesn't work out too well. So it's definitely something that you use when you're at your desktop. And when you're working on, like I said, more than anything, I use this for recognition for the entire team. And that's a vital behavior. You guys know that's one of our vital behaviors. It's one of the most important things that we do. And it's important that we make it special, right? That is something eye-catching, something that, I see all your faces on here tonight. You've been celebrated at one point or another in your business. Didn't it make you feel fantastic when you saw that pretty collage? So to me, it's something very important. It's where our team calendar comes from. It's where when I do maybe my post for the diamond push, or when I do things for my challenge groups, Canva's my place to go. Now, let's just get a couple things straight. Is Canva the only program that does this kind of stuff? No. There's so many out there, right? But I just picked one that I liked, and I bought a membership. I do have the Pro, right? It's inexpensive. I invested in it. I used it for quite a while before I got the Pro. I did use the basic pack and just fine, but when you get the Pro, you unlock things like fonts, you unlock more layouts, you unlock just different features. And the more that I got to know Canva, I'm like, you know what? I like this. I'm gonna invest in this one. It's definitely not the only place that you can do these kinds of things. If you're looking to see kind of the things that I do very fast, like maybe wording or things that I put together that, for social media purposes, a lot of times I use apps for that, right? That's just like a quick, I want to throw some words on a picture. But like I said, for Canva, it's a little bit more involved, okay? When I'm working on things that are more involved. Another really cool part about Canva, and you guys are going to see in a second because I'm going to screen share, is that Canva saves everything that you do. So as you're working on Canva, it's saving, save, like kind of like a Google Doc, right? It saves. Every move you make, it's constantly saving. So when you cancel out of whatever you used, and let's say you move on to something else, when you come back, like for example, recognition, when I come back a month later to do Success Club, my Success Club layout is already there, saved. The last way I left it, right? And then that saves us a lot of work as coaches because, for example, Success Club, month to month, it's the same layout. I just got to make changes on the pictures that I put in, the names that I put in. I just got to make those quick edits, and then I ship it out, right? And it goes on to our team page. It saves me a lot of time not having to recreate everything every single time, okay? So I'm gonna show you tonight. Here's my deal with teaching these kinds of things, right? It's very hard to teach trillers. It's very hard to teach editing. It's very hard to teach apps in general, because while I could sit here, guys, and give you just a couple tips on how to access certain features, the bottom line is you have to put in the time and you have to put in the work on getting creative with it yourself, right? There's probably things that you're going to discover that I haven't even discovered yet if you sat down for an hour and you played around on Canva, right? So we all have to put in that work and understand that this training is not going to be like, oh, I'm going to teach you everything there is under the sun about Canva, because I don't even know it, right? But I can teach you a couple things here and there. And that's why I asked for you guys to bring your questions to the table, because I want to know from you, like, what is it that you see on Canva that you haven't quite gotten a hold of, you haven't quite figured out, that I could maybe help guide you and teach you at least the ways that I'm doing it to date with the things that I know on Canva, okay? So let me go ahead and screen share here. So if you're unfamiliar with Canva, it's www.canva.com, okay? Now, like I told you, I have an account already created because I I mean, I have my account upgraded to pro, but you create a free account just fine. And then that way it saves all your work and you can always go back to all the projects that you're working on. Now, this is the home screen here. When I'm working on something new, I'll go to create a design. I'll just click on create a design. And what I love about Canva is it gives you like every possible stinking layout you can think of. So whether you're printing stuff, like if you're actually making paper, which we don't do that very much in Beachbody worlds, right? Everything's digital, virtual type stuff. But if you go right down here to social media, now this is our jam. This is the stuff we use. Hold on, give me a second. Let me move your guys' faces down here. Okay, there. So here, if you keep clicking this arrow, oh my gosh, tongue twisted. I want to reset, by the way, guys. So like brain cells start like diminishing by 8 o'clock at night on the reset. So I'm be a little tongue-tied today. So you click the arrow and you can see all, I mean, they have every single social media platform here for you to use. Every type of format, and it fits perfectly into whatever platform that you're looking to use. So for me, I am largely, you guys know I do about 80% of my business on Instagram. It's just my jam, it's what I like. So I'll use either the Instagram stories or the Instagram posts. If I'm doing Facebook stuff for the team, now I run the team 100% on Facebook. So I'm doing a lot of team stuff and business building through Facebook. I use a lot of the Facebook cover and Facebook stories and Facebook ads, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you're making, like, for example, a group versus a event, the covers are different. So it's cool to have this already set for you, so you don't have to sit there and play with settings or create this beautiful thing, and then when you go to plug it in to Facebook, it's like, ah, crap, it doesn't fit, and then you're back to the drawing board. So let's just say, let's go with a simple Instagram post, right? So once you click your format that you're looking to work with, you're gonna get a blank slate, right? Now, what's cool that I like about Canva, okay? And real quick, before I go into all that, let me go back here to home. Let me show you my designs. So if I wanna go look at all the stuff that I've already created to date, I would go to all your designs, right? This is everything that I do for the team. You see how it has everything saved. And if you see, I also have my husband's company. So I do both work for myself and for my husband's business. So I have everything saved here. And I actually started to get a little bit organized. I started, but I haven't finished. Like, everything's about him is down here. Everything's about my business over here. And I'll continue making folders. But you could get really, really organized. And as you start growing your business, have everything there organized for yourself. But every time I go to work on something, for example, our team calendar, I'll click on the team calendar and I'll make edits right off of here, right? Let's just say, I don't want to lose this exact one, right? I want to keep this team calendar. I don't want to lose it. I would go to here, file, and make a copy, okay? And then it'll create a whole new window with a brand new copy. And let's say I edit this one, right? Let's say I take everything off, and then I come back to my wall of all my designs and I refresh. You're gonna see how it saved. Well, it didn't save. Oh, I know why it didn't save. Hold on, sorry. There's a funny thing about Canva. If you don't click out of the box, you see how that highlighted? You see how that highlighted, and then you click out of it? If you don't click out of it, it doesn't save the change. It's just a funny thing about this website. I've learned my lesson, because things I thought I edited didn't edit. So then it'll show me, no, it still didn't do it. But it's funny, because when you click on it, oh my God, look, of course, when you want to show people something, hold on, I think it's because this thing is in my way.
No, it was because right before you left, you accidentally.
What did I do?
You clicked the redo button by mistake.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, right before you went to go switch, you clicked redo and it came right back on.
Oh my God, so funny. Okay, so you save that, right? Okay, then you go over here. No, still didn't work. Anyway. Of course, when you need, yeah, see? Okay, that's what it is. The preview didn't work, but you see how I opened it up and it was what I saved.
It's there.
Yeah, it's there. So Canva's it works funny like that. If you don't click out of it, see how it's highlighted now? If you don't click out of it, it doesn't save your newest changes, okay? So just small little things that I've learned along the way. So I have everything here, and every time I want to make a change, or like, for example, you see how these recognition posts here for our success starters, when someone else hits, I'll come in here and I'll just change out the photos for whoever it is. I change the name because I have already created this image and I want to keep it uniform. I like to do like, this is just Monica. I like to keep like a style for a whole year. And then after a year, I'm like, let me make a new one. Because if you look at last year's recognition for success starters, it was different. So I just like to get creative every year and create new layouts that I'll use all year long, okay? But that's exactly how I do it. And imagine if you had to redo this, because I created this whole thing. I added the beach body. You see, that's what I told you guys. Creativity is a big deal because it's what you think of in your head that you put together. See the beach body thing? I created that and I plugged it in there, right? The 3 photos was actually a layout through Canva that I'll show you in a second how you can find layouts. And then this thing was just like a spray can thing that I thought was cool, and I just kind of laid it in there, right? So you just get creative. That's where your juices have to come in for you to be able to create the images that you want to see. But now, let me go back to what I was going to show you guys a second ago on how to help get the creative juices flowing. So let's say we go back to making our own design, right? Like a brand new design. Go to create a design, and then pull up Instagram post, and we got a clean slate here. Now, let's just say I'm thinking about doing my next challenge group, right? It's gonna be called Summer, I don't know, Summer Slim Down, okay? You could click here under templates, click Summer, right? And it's gonna give you a bunch of layouts that have to do with summer. And so if something catches your eye, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to use it exactly as shown, because you can edit out, change photos, whatever. But for me, this is how Monica gets her creative juices flowing. She looks for these layouts already created by professionals, and then she makes edits thereafter, right? So let's say I love this one, right? That's adorable. It's the colors I love, and I want to use this for my next challenge group. Well, then I could then start to get creative with it. The next thing that I would do is I'll bring in some kind of photos. So under uploads, that's where you upload all the photos that you want to ever use, right? So here's like all the photos of our team and just different things that we've done with different people that we will plug into this thing that I'm working on. Let's say I wanted to use this picture. Now sometimes, oops, I let go of my finger too soon. Hold on. Why is it not letting me do it? Okay, so sometimes it's not happening right now. You are able to plug in a photo straight into the background. This one's not allowing me because it seems like this color back here, what this is just a color background with pictures pasted on, see? So that already has a picture on it. I wonder if I go like this. If I go like this, if it'll let me do it then. No. Okay, oh there, it let me. Hold on, where'd it go? Okay, there, see it catches. You see how it let me plug in the photo to the complete background of it. That's where you know that what this is a colored background with 2 squares put on top, okay? That's the layout already created by Canva. So for me personally, what I had envisioned was having my photo in the background, right, with just a square and maybe the pineapple. So I would have to sit there and get creative with this and probably remove this square, you know, just do different things to it. Or I could, what's cool about it also is leave it exactly how it was. All right, let's bring back the pineapples. And then I could bring in my picture and decide, okay, you know what, I'm gonna crop my picture and put my picture in the middle of it, type deal, right? So this all goes into how creative you wanna go. Now, when you're doing stuff like this, sorry, this is so hard. I gotta move your guys' faces. I gotta move you over here. Okay, if I wanna have the pineapple over, there's another button over here. So these buttons are super cool. You gotta play with them to get to know everything it does, but you could position it. So if I wanna have the pineapple on top of my picture, I push the pineapple forward, right? And you see how I went over the picture that I have put in there. Let's say I wanna get this picture here and I wanna make it bigger. You know, I want it to fit into a square. Cancel, that wasn't the right one, hold on. There, I want it to fit into the square. So it goes into that yellow square. Like this is just a thing, I'm just walking you guys through like the mind that I use when I'm creating stuff, right? and I bring it and I center it, and then boom, I have something here. Then I want to move these letters over here because they're like all over my face, and I want my face to show because my face is important in my business, and I want to bring the letters down here. And then these letters kind of wash out with that background, so I want to change it to, you know, purple. And so like that. And you see how you just start to play with things that are professionally first made, and then you bring it in, and you have to, that's where your creative juices and your work has to come in, and you have to work with these kinds of things. All right, so real quick while we're on this, let me just show you guys a couple of buttons up here. So duplicate, that's simple, it just duplicates your photo. Right here, position, you could bring the photo forward, you could bring it to the front where everything is back, is put behind it, or you could go little by little putting stuff backwards, and you see how the bottom fonts came back. You push it again, these fonts came back. You see, you push it again, and you have the pineapple. If you were to push it again, then you'd bring the squares in front of it, and then it kind of hides the photo. So let's say you want to bring it right back to the front, and you start all over again, and you just kind of position and do the layers the way that you so choose. Okay, so that's the position button. Then this button over here, exactly what it says, transparency. With that photo, you can make it transparent, or you can bring it back, whatever you want to get those creative juices flowing. This is if you ever want to add a link in that you can click on for social media purposes. You can add a link. I've never done that. I've never used it because, again, I use Instagram, and Instagram is not something that you could just like click on the hyperlink. And I don't even know what that lock button is. I think it's the lock thing, so you can't move it. Yeah, see, that makes sense. We just learned something together, guys. So you can lock it and then add stuff on top of it. All right, so when I create things, that's exactly how I do it. I go and I look for a layout that seems appropriate for what I'm working on, and then I just let the creative juices start flowing. Now, here's another tip that I'll give you guys. If you want to add in, let's start on something new. So this is kind of like a post for a challenge group, for example, right? Let's go back home and let's start a new one, and let me show you for recognition. Let's say I'm working on a brand new recognition. Oops, that's not where I want to go. A recognition post. I want it to fit on Instagram because I know I'm going to want to put this on Instagram for everyone to see. And I want to put photos. So you're going to go under elements. And then, because this is one of the main questions I get. And then whenever you see if you were just to put a shape, it would just be a simple shape. So you don't want to use the shape button, okay? What you want to use is either the grids or the frames. Now, if I put this one that has like a photo in it, you see how like that image of a landscape, it's a photo. Meaning I can now go to my uploads, and I can grab and bring over a photo and plug it into it. If it were to be a shape, you cannot do that, right? You gotta make sure that it's one that has the landscaping that shows you that you can pull and drop into there. So when I go to create, for example, recognition, I first to get the size of the circle that I want, right? The picture that I want. Let's say it's a total of 5 people that hit Success Club on my team. Sorry, I'm moving you. You guys can't see this part, but I'm just moving your faces around. Okay, let's say it's 5 people that I'm working with. Well, I can kind of guide here. How can I fit 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll get the standard size that I want, and then I'll duplicate 5 times, because it's important that they're all the same size, right? Because if not, it looks amateurish and it looks sloppy if you have one like this and one like that, and it's like all over the place, right? And the other cool part about it being the same size is that Canva lines everything up for you. You see those lines that are popping up? It's telling me, by the way, I'm gonna delete this one and redo a new one. Delete, and we're gonna duplicate right here, right? So we're gonna duplicate right here, and here's where Canva's really great, because it helps you get everything lined up so that it looks nice and crisp and clean and professional, right? So you see how the lines it lines up on the bottom, but I'm not lined up in the center. So you have to play with it in there. Now I got it lined up in the center. Now I want all 3 to line up in distance. So until I get it right, you'll see all the lines there. That's the middle, and then that's the center, and that's the center. You see how the lines pop up and it's telling me you're here, you're good, you're centered. Then over here, these are gonna kind of go in the middle, so I put it until the lines tell me, boom, you're in the middle. You see how that works out, guys? So it makes your recognition posts look great. And then as you go and you're adding people's faces, all you gotta do is plug it in, and so on and so forth, right? If this picture, for example, oh, that's a great picture of Janine, I love it, but it looks funky because it's not her face, you can double click it And then you could make it as big as you need it so that it's her face. And then you bring it down and boom, now she matches all the girls. Did that? All right, so it's just a matter of getting there and playing around with it. Now let's say I want to add some names to this, right? Then you'll go under text and you can add text here. There's also now this is where Canva recently changed where it used to give you like labels. Now it doesn't do it anymore. So I would just go over here, create a new headline and put, write a name, right? Pick the size that I want, pick the font I want, do everything that I want with this, right? Before I decide to then start making the others, because I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna press the duplicate button and I'm just gonna drag them over and make sure that they all line up. I make sure, boom, that they line up, you see center with my photo, and they line up height-wise with the other names of the other thing. So you see how that all lines up perfectly. And again, these are things that are important to know because it just makes it look extra crisp and clean and professional and well done. All right. Let's say this plain background, I don't like it. Do I want color? I could put color. Fantastic. I got some, let's put my favorite color. And I can also do to the backgrounds, you can add layers to it. So you could put like brick wall behind it. Down here, you could put a landscape if you so choose. There's also, let me see if I can remember how I did this one time. It was not elements. Was it here? Yeah, let me see something. There was a way that once that I could just add a texture to it. I didn't have to do, I didn't have to change the whole thing. I don't remember, but you got to play around with it. You can click different buttons and it'll let you do different things. So that, was I in the right place? Let's see if this is it. No, that doesn't look like it. Is this it? Okay, I remember what it was. You could click a background. Let's say I wanted those lines, right? But you can just go here and change the color. Boom, that's what it was. There you go. Woo! So you're able to find backgrounds. Not all of them give you that capability, but if you see the little color box pop up in the top, that enables you to change the colors as you so see fit, okay? So, for example, here with the green shrubs, I wonder if look, it'll allow you to add a color on top of it that changes the hue of it, right? So you get the right thing that you're looking for and you can match whatever you're looking to do, all right? So covered backgrounds, we covered photos, we covered fonts, we've covered how to layer it, right, which is really important. Let's see if there's anything else that I would say is a big deal on here. I mean, I think that's pretty much what I used everything for. I taught you guys how to make a copy. I think that's everything that I could think of that I use on the daily in my business when it comes to Canva. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's open it up for questions now, because like I said, this is really important that I brought you guys to the table so that I can help work through whatever it is that you're not sure about. So
Okay, I have a question.
yes.
I saw on there that you had there was moving animated stuff. So the animated stuff, like have you used those on Instagram and stuff? Is that what you use to make those awesome stories? Because you make the most amazing stories.
Okay, no, the stories and okay, first and foremost, I'm gonna put out a disclaimer. The last stories for Live 4, I did not make. I bought a package from someone that made them simply because I just did not have the time. It's time intensive, guys, to create really cool stuff. This is why I like Canva, because Canva saves everything. Other apps, you make it one time and it washes away. It doesn't save your format. It doesn't save it all. So this last time for Live 4, that was not me. I purchased a packet from some people, these two girls that do that for a living. They create packages and you just buy it from them, okay? That's number one. But in the past, I have done them and I do all those on apps. This is not on Canva. Canva, as you can see, when you go back to all my work and the things that I do, oh, I could teach you guys one more thing. I forgot to teach you. Canva is all stuff team-wise that's repetitive.
So that's not when you do your videos and stuff like that. That's just mainly like posts.
Yes, it's
so all those that we saw on there? Because when you were playing around with it, I saw some animated stuff.
Okay, it exists. It exists on here. I've never used it. So for example, if you go to home and you go to create a design and you bring down to social media, they've got animated ones right there. So let's say I click this one. You know what I did use an animated one for?
Oh my God, I love it though.
I know. Remember, Veto, when we did the vision board party and I did the invitation on our team, on my team page, inviting to the vision board party, and it was animated? I did make that one. I did make that one on Canva. So.
Okay, yeah. So this is actually a tool to eat, but it's
the only thing is that you gotta save it. You gotta save it, and then you gotta airdrop it onto your phone to then get it into Instagram stories.
And that's kind of a pain in the butt. Can you, if you don't mind, dropping on the chats what app you use for your actual? Is it the same ones? I think I have.
So if you guys want, let's write it down, or I'll type it out right now and give it to you guys for animated. But you know that it exists now on Canva. It is there, but let me give you the ones that I use just quick when I want to do something quick on my phone.
Right. If I'm out and about and I have nothing to do and I just want to sit there and make some, CTA posts, which I do. I have a folder of a bunch of CTA posts, but I would like them to be pretty like this, like with music and everything. I would like to just save them on my phone. I can just do that on my phone.
Let me stop share for a second and then go into the chat. So I'll give you guys the quick ones for animated. These have animated and unanimated, but they both work really great. So I like story art. Okay, that's one. Let me look for another one. Another one is Unfold. Unfold is great because Unfold, by the way, does save your formats. So Unfold does save. Unfortunately, Story Art does not. And yeah, those are the two. Those are the two that I go back and forth. Those are for animated. If you want just wording, Word Swag is my quick go-to. That's like my super quick go-to. Word Swag came out with this called Story Swag that also lets you do animated. See, Jenny uses Storylux. That's another one that I've heard of. I don't have it, but all these do the similar functions. And once you get to know more apps, you realize that a lot of them use the same layouts too. So just pick one and be a pro at that one. They all do the same features. It just depends when you find the one that you want. One more last thing before I open up for another question. It popped into my head before we went into this question. Let me bring back the share screen real quick, because this is like a question I get over and over and over. Let's go back to this, to a new design. Let me just make a regular design. A question that I get over and over and over is, Monica, how did you, let's pull up a picture. So I'm gonna bring, let's bring back Heidi. Grab, sometimes it doesn't grab. There, let's bring back Heidi. And let's say I want to put on there, Heidi just got hired by C1P, which is my husband's company, right? I found look, there's even a Beachbody one. Okay, so Heidi now is a Beachbody coach, and we want to put the Beachbody logo over her. That's called a PNG, guys, okay? When you're able to put something over, transparent background is called a PNG. So how did I do that? Well, for example, my husband's company, I went and I got a PNG created for his company, so now I can slap it onto anything that I make, right? But if you want to do something like, for example, Beachbody is very well known. I go to Google and I'll do Beachbody. You guys can't see this, can you? Can you see my Google? Yeah, okay. Beachbody logo PNG, okay? And I'll click go. And I'll make sure to click here under transparent, because I want to make sure that it's a transparent background. Then I'll find one. This doesn't always work because some people, it's just internet world. Some people categorize their image as PNG and it's not, because they're just trying to sell you a PNG. But sometimes you'll get it. So let's just say, I don't know if this one is one, but I'll save it. I'll come back. There she is. I'll upload. I can already tell that it's not right. Yeah, it's not right. Okay, this is someone trying to sell it, so they didn't really put a, you see how it's not really a transparent background? They put those squares pretending like it was. Now you gotta go back to the drawing board. This is what I go through when I make something. I'll go back and find another one. Let's see if this one's one. No, I can tell it's not.
And let me add on there real quick. It's just in case, because I do this a lot, especially with the Cricut. So I'm constantly trying to grab an image and make the background transparent. If you guys download Magic Eraser, you can get any image, and you can sit there and click what you want to take away, and then you can make it a PNG.
Yeah, so you have the ability to do that, but like I said, to eliminate time when it's just like things that are used a lot, this is how I do it. I'll go to Google and I'll just Google a PNG and until I find the right one. But yeah, you can, and those you have to just go fine around it until you create its own PNG. But look, I found one now, so I go back, and it's the Beachbody logo. And you see how I bring it, and then you just drag it on. You can make it as big and small as you want. You can crop it however you need, and you could also, which is cool, make it transparent or bold or however you so choose. Sometimes you can even do effects to it and filter it, you know, if you want to change the color of it. Yeah, it's just to change the color of it. Okay, so just that's another big question I get. So if I'm doing, you'll see here, and by the way, I'll always delete these. When I knew that it didn't work, I deleted off my thing. All right. Cool part is that this often works for example, like parental advisory. Found that when we were doing 6 weeks of work, which made some things cool. You could do it when we were giving away Nikes. I found the Nike PNG. A lot of our, well, pretty much all of the logos of our programs, you'll find them as well. I'm not finding it here
when
now,
you put on a PNG image like that, can you change its transparency to like kind of like blend, or like, are you able to do that? Because I've seen some images where you will make something in the background like lighter, and then like you'll make something like.
So what I would do is I would get Heidi here, and I would make her more transparent so Team Beachbody pops out.
That's what you always do, and it looks so good. Okay.
You could either make her, you see, I clicked the wrong thing. You make her, and you can lighten her up until Team Beachbody comes out the way you want it. So as I was saying, it's just a matter of playing with things until you get it. You could also even go to Heidi, and if you were to make it black and white or like drama, it kind of darkens, makes it the darker effect, and you could just play around with it as you so see fit. Okay, so let's open it up for questions, because that's pretty much, guys, like Canva's like that. You got to just sit there and play around with things and get the creative juices flowing with the layouts. And cool part is that everything's saved, and it's excellent for business when you're coming back and creating the same images over and over, month to month. So does anybody have any question? Did I answer all the questions that everybody had?
No, Monica, a question on, is this the free version that you're using?
Okay, I do not have the free version. However, I have the Pro, but what the Pro gives me is just more, let me go over here. Let me add a text. It gives me way more fonts. So I have a shit ton of fonts. So you can see here, whenever there's a crown, that's all Pro. You have to be a Pro to use it, okay? So you can see whatever's not crowned is still used by the basic free version. It's still a lot, right? Pro, for example, if I go to elements here, here's another thing I can show you guys. Let's say I wanted to add on here a pineapple. You could type in pineapple, and it'll give you every kind of pineapple under the sun. If you see money on it, it's a one-time buy of $1. If you see it with nothing, it's free, then you can use it right away. If you use it, if there's one that says Pro, see right there, Pro, that means only Pro users can use it. So a lot of the features are free, but it's just the different things that you add on that could cost you either $1 or you get it with Pro. See, if I were to add it for $1 here, it'll add it on, but then when you go to download it, see, then it'll tell me to pay before I download. Oops, I think I just bought it. Cancel. You get it? So like that, once you buy it for $1, then you got it. So you don't have to have the upgraded membership if you choose not to. And if you just love something at the moment, you can pay the dollar for it.
How much do you pay for the pro?
I completely forgot. I don't even remember.
Is it like monthly or weekly? You don't know?
Whenever I do things like this, when I find a program I love and I upgrade, I always do the year because it's always a condensed, like they super, prorate it and they give you a cheaper price. So right. I don't remember. Just look it up and it'll tell you. I don't remember. But I remember it's inexpensive. And for me, the kind of work I do on our, within our team and within my business, it's just so worth it. So worth it.
Te vale la pena because if you're constantly using it.
Yeah, for me, the biggest thing is that I could go back and I could always find everything, and I'm even using it for my husband's business. So, by the way, look, you see how it updated? It gives me the blank one and it gives me my original one. So I don't mess with my original one and I can come play over here. But yeah, I use it for everything.
Where did you go for that? Sorry to cut you off. Where did you go for that?
Go for what?
To make the calendar, like under templates, under, because I'm trying to look at it on the phone as the app.
Do not work on the app. Do not work on the app for this. Like I said when we started the call, it's very important that you understand that the app and the desktop do not translate correctly. Like they don't translate well. So I do not advise to use Canva on the app. The only time I use Canva, I have it on my phone. And the reason I do is that when I have something already pre-made, for example, right here, Joan hit Success Starter for month 2, right? She just, by the way, shout out to Joanne. I keep saying Joanne, she just hit month 3. So on my phone, it'll be a quick edit of putting another, line there to say month 3, and then I'll just save it to my phone because it's a quick edit. But to create something, the app is not the place to go.
So app completely no, unless it's for something as simple as to upload.
Correct. Anybody else have any other questions?
Me?
Go for it. Joanne.
Joanne.
I know, I keep doing it. It'll reprogram.
Right for a while. Oye, how is it that you did again? Because you see how it asks you to download and pay? I had used it before and that's what it did to me. So how is it again that you like share it without having to pay?
If you want a certain graphic and it has a $sign in order to use it.
Not that, your final product, like for you to post and stuff.
Oh, if you're not using any paid stuff, like things that require you to pay, that you're using all free stuff, it'll just download.
Okay, cool.
So if it's just like something, here, move this chat.
So maybe what I selected that time was
you probably didn't realize, because here's the thing. So let me go back real quick and show you something. So let's go back to pineapples. Oops, I was supposed to go under elements. Pineapples. Okay, so you see how that one has pro underneath it? It doesn't have a $sign, but once you see it, it's pro. That's because I'm a pro member. It'll just download for me. Right. So those are for pros. You have to look for the ones that say free, right? Gotcha. When it says free, there. See, that guy's, he's free.
And it'll download and save.
And without having to pay anything.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And sometimes some of the designs that you choose, like let's say you find something under templates that you like, and then you go to download it and it has something pro or something that is priced or whatever, and that's when you realize that when you go to download it, because I actually use this for my job, like to create flyers and tripods. So but I went to download something and I didn't realize that. I was like, why is this thing charging me? And then I realized that it had one of the images, but it was preset, and I picked it like that. So I had to like play with it to try to figure out what it was, and it was some books or something, so I had to delete it and get one of the free apps. But I think you should have them. Yeah.
So it's the same concept on layouts. You see when I scroll over it, see that one's free. You see this one doesn't say free, that one doesn't say free, that one doesn't say free, but that one is free. So again, it's a matter of scrolling around if you're using the free version and just finding whatever fits your needs. Dixie, did I answer what was making you frustrated? I hope so. Dixie was the one that was like, please, can I have a Canva training?
Yeah, I was trying to do it on my freaking phone.
No!
I know.
I missed the first 8 minutes of this call, but I'll just hopefully if you record it, I'll go back to it.
Yes, you record it.
But this is exactly what I needed. I needed to see. I just need to see to be able to actually, I don't know, to figure this all out like how you've showed us. I would have never been able to do that.
Cool. Then good. I'm glad it was of value. But yeah,
so hopefully you recorded it.
Yeah, the beginning is all recorded. Don't worry, everything's recorded, and you could come play back, and you guys can stop and you know, pause on certain things and go back to when you're going to use certain things.
Yes.
I think to me, Canva is the most important because it helps you create images that look very professional looking because you're able to, you know, level it all out, space it all out properly, and it just gives it a really pretty look. And you know, the pre-made layouts help too with creativity. All right. So, any more questions before we close it out? Going once. Good. All right, wait, before you guys go, let's take a picture. We wrapped up our second ever Diesel Core training hotline. Whoop, whoop. All right, if you're on the camera, come off the camera. And when I say go, start doing a boomerang dance. And 3, 2, 1. Wait, I cut somebody off. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Done. All right, guys. Thank you for being on tonight. If any questions that come up or anything like that, just drop it into this the thread that has this event on it, and we'll answer those questions. Talk to you guys later.